Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Welcome to Wager Talk Today. Teddy covers the Prez. Marco D'Angelo coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk Monday Night Football, and Teddy's got his big game, a breakdown, Buffalo versus Miami, Ohio. But first, Teddy, before we even get to our lead story, I just want to say, my eyes adore you. I can't get Frankie Valli out of my head. I know, it's pathetic. Lead story, bro. Pittsburgh, Dallas, literally about 80% of the Circa Survivor pool, including me, was on Pittsburgh yesterday. And I'm doing this with Carm. I told Carm, Minnesota. Strangely, I get a text in the middle of the game. Prez, I told you not to take Pittsburgh. Oh my God, the drama. I lost my shit, dude. Flat out lost my shit yesterday. And it's really a big kudos to Mike McCarthy. What a terrible coach. I hand it to you.
Sure. And McCarthy, Dallas was a better team for extended stretches of yesterday's game. And obviously the game not over until the Garrett Gilbert, the final pass into the end zone goes incomplete, which for anyone that had the Steelers in their survivor pool was a huge, but that's the way survivor pools are sometimes. But McCarthy with a chance to pull away in this game. Steelers were flat, okay? Their offense wasn't working. They just weren't in rhythm or in sync throughout the course of the game. The offense been moving the ball, matriculating the ball up and down the field. They got 4th and inches on the Steelers' 22. It's the third quarter. It's not about going up 2 scores there. It's about putting up points in bunches. McCarthy, of course, decides to kick the field goal. And that, to me, was the biggest and dumbest decision of the game for a head coach that we like to make fun of. And then his quotes afterwards. All right. I had to cut and paste this to read it at the top of the show because it was so humorous. I'm trying to win the game. All decisions are based on what's going on in the game. You don't just make 4th down decisions off an analytics book. There's other factors that are involved, and they change based on what's going on in the game. That's what those decisions came down to. Yes, that's true. You don't just make 4th down decisions off an analytics book. You make 4th down decisions off of what you need to win the game, which is touchdowns. That certainly helped cash the Steelers survive and advance, even though obviously Dallas plus the points, never in doubt in that one.
Teddy, look, you know me. I've been telling everybody since day one, Mike McCarthy is the worst coach in football. And football has passed him by. And you know, Mike, if you're listening to the show, and I know you check out Wager Talk Today from time to time, it's okay, dude. Like Billy Joel, Paul McCartney, Elton John, they haven't had hits in years. They're regarded as one of the greats. It's okay. Go away. With that said, Teddy, I'm not 100% that they go for it there, brother. Turnover really did them in at the end of that game and cost them. And conversely, I had a problem with Tomlin going for it. You know, we were in this exact position a few weeks ago where a team. It's an interesting discussion. Why don't we bring Marco in and ask him his thoughts on it?
Sure.
You know what? Hey, let's not. Get rid of him. Marco D'Angelo. Yeah. So, Teddy, my eyes adore you. Marco, awesome freaking weekend, brother. Congratulations, first and foremost. I mean, just in the zone, dude.
Everything was working out. I'm really kicking myself, as I was telling Teddy before we went on the air. All week I was telling everybody this is traditionally Mike Tomlin's worst situation since he's been coach of the Steelers. And it's when they play a team on the road with a losing record, and especially all of the problems that, were added with, no starting quarterback. You get Gilbert making it the start. They came up flat as a pancake. And as well as I know my Steelers, I still couldn't walk myself to the window and buy that ticket. And I'm kicking myself because I left one on there. We tweeted about it. I got in a discussion with one of your guests that, comes on the show. It's a fellow Pittsburgh native, a bookmaker in town. And he said, this is a different Steeler team this year. No, it's not. It's still the same Mike Tomlin. And
it's always the same, Marco. Dude, before we get into Monday Night Football, what did you think? Should they have gone for it or kicked the field goal? And conversely, should the Steelers have kicked the field goal instead of going for it?
I didn't have a problem with the Steelers going for it. Mike McCarthy's decision.
Oh, look at Teddy, smug.
I get this. You want to go up the 2 scores. I get that, and you're trying to win the game. But the problem is, he knows his defense is not good. It's not like Pittsburgh was flat, but you left them hang around. And anybody that's bet football over the years, when you let a team hang around when you're dominating the game, that's not good. They find a way if you let them stay in the game. And so with the record they had, go for it. What do you have to lose? You have a chance to knock off the lone remaining undefeated team. You go for it 4th and inches. If you can't make 4th and inches, you don't deserve to win the game anyways. That's my take.
Marco D'Angelo, 8-2 your last 10 college football plays and a 3-0 sweep yesterday. Marco, let's get straight to the Monday Night Football game. Man, it was like 7.5. Then it just jumped all the way to 9.5. Haven't looked because I just woke up. But yeah, there's 10s on the board. 42 is the total. Talk to me. Where do we go in this game tonight?
Well, the first push you saw on this line before the Darnold injury, obviously it moved some more after the Darnold injury, but this was a situation, what we call in sports betting, by the sports books, it was simply a teaser blocker. They wanted to eliminate, when you're sitting at 7.5, you're only going to get teasers one way. And I'll tell you, I took a teaser at 7.5, get it down to 1.5 on a 6-point teaser, and have the pay close at game time. I don't think we get to 10.5. If you do see any 10.5s, all of the advantage players, I'm not going to necessarily say wise guys, because anytime you're betting the Jets, that's not a wise move, but it is a plus EV play getting the 10.5 on a game like this. As far as the game goes, seems like we talked the same story last week, guys. We had a Monday night home dog, and we talked about the history of, how that's changed. Well, what happened? The Monday night home dog got the money last week, and for most of the game, actually looked like they were going to win the game. But this is the Jets, as I said. This team is historically bad. I mean, they are ranked dead last offensively. They are producing 4.5 yards per play. And, now we switched to Flacco. I don't see that increasing. They're 32nd also in total yards per game. 259 yards per game, guys. It's atrocious. Now, New England obviously is not having a good season. We're seeing it's looking like Belichick needed Brady more than Brady needed Belichick, except for last night on Sunday Night Football and that beat down. But the offense is struggling. Cam Newton has had his moments where he looked good, and he's had too many moments when he's been horrible this year. Part of it was he missed a couple games with COVID issues, and maybe we don't know what the lasting effects are on that, but he had a couple bad games after that. But last week they got the running game going again, and if you look at their games this year, when they were able to run the football, they had some success. Yes, they've lost 4 games in a row, but if you look at the 3 games, the first 3 games of this losing streak, it was against Kansas City, Denver and San Francisco. San Francisco was playing well at the time for a 2-game stretch. Denver still has a decent defense. In Kansas City, well, we know what they are. But the key to those 3 losses were they had 11 turnovers in that 3-game stretch. If they don't turn the football over and they are able to run the football, they can win this game and they can cover this game. I don't want any part of the Jets. I can get all of the things. It's a, divisional home dog, and that takes it up a few percentage points. But I'm not going to buy it. I just don't like the Jets. And when it comes to coaching, even though there's not a lot of talent on the New England roster, you give me Belichick over Gaze. That's just an absolute mismatch. And I'll give you 2 stats here that I was able to dig up on this one. The Jets, the last 3 seasons, following a loss, and granted, there's been plenty of them, so it's a large sample size for a 3-year period. They're 8-19 against the spread off a loss. And if that loss is coming off a game in which they were outgained by 150 yards or more over the last 2 seasons, that number goes down to 0-6 against the spread. It's, as my buddy Teddy would say, if I'm playing, I'm laying, and that's where I'm at tonight. Sorry to borrow your line, Teddy.
It's a good line. You can use it all you want. It is certainly not trademarked, and I'm with you 100% conceptually. And I wasn't necessarily thinking that with Sam Darnold. But in my mind, the difference between Darnold and Flacco is we have a chance versus we have no chance. And mentally, I think the Jets, we've seen that. But from a total standpoint, the last 4 games, the Jets scored 10 against Arizona, got shut out against Miami, got 10 against Buffalo, and got 3 field goals last week against the Chiefs. Now it's Flacco again. The Patriots offense has been, as you talked about, they want to run the football. They've scored 10, 12, 6, and 21 in their last 4 ball games. How do these teams get to 42 tonight? It sure feels like an under to this better.
It sure does. And Teddy, didn't we say the same thing last week? It sure feels like an under. And, I didn't actually have a release, but we ended up down at Circa watching the Monday night game. And, I made the statement, you're betting the game. No, it's a crap game, but you got to have a little bit. For me, that's like going to a buffet and not eating. That doesn't happen. Okay, so it was there. We had a little money on the under. It was a winner the entire way until that last touchdown in the final seconds. And you know what? When you're dealing with, totals 41, 42 in the NFL, in today's NFL, man, it's tough to watch those games. But I agree with you 100%. Everything points to an under. But do you get maybe a couple Flacco turnovers that, you might get a pick 6? Or how about, here's the one thing. When you get Joe Flacco, I've made jokes and I've actually tweeted out people pulling a statue. He literally is a statue in the pocket. And not that New England's defense has been really putting pressure on people, but, I could see, a Flacco fumble in this game, and you get a scoop and score. And then all of a sudden an under becomes, you're worrying about it late in the 4th quarter. But I agree 100%. If I'm playing the total, I'm looking at the under.
Yeah, Marco, I like the under for the Jets, specifically based on what you were saying. I mean, if this game goes over, it goes over because Flacco throws some interceptions on the wrong side of the field, which is not unlikely. So look at the Jets under. But I don't know, I like the Jets first quarter. If you've been watching the Jets of late, they've actually been playing well for the Jets. Like what we call Mike McCarthy well.
Yeah,
so
but
really
it's Darnold versus Flacco, Joe. I mean, it's a completely different offense when they have a quarterback that can throw the football versus when they have a quarterback that can't. And if you watch the offense with Flacco, it's very different than with Darnold. It's not that they're playing better offense. Last week they did because they had a QB, but I'm not convinced that's the case tonight.
Yeah, they're plus money in that first quarter, and you still got to rely on New England to score. So I like that first quarter bet on the Jets, guys, and I like under for the Jets team to. Marco, what do you got to promote for us, man? You're just on fire.
Yeah, we've got a $9 Monday. And Prez, did you realize that $9 plays only are up till midnight?
Nope. Nope. I have a 5%. I have a 5% play for NFL for this coming week, not tonight. It's $9 right now at WagerTalk, and I promise everybody I will not change it over until 1 a.m. I will give you all a bonus 1 hour just to upset my co-founder and partner and incredible friend, Marco D'Angelo.
And check out, I have a college play for Saturday. And like I said, we are on an 8-2 run in college football. Seeing college really well. Oh, Joe had to get that up.
Wait, stop talking. Guys, that picture there is Marco. Like, legitimately, zoom in. That is Marco. He had muscles. He had hair. He had swag. He had a car. Now he still has
a Corvette, man. Look at him.
Ends.
That's an 80s picture if we've ever seen one.
Dude,
look at Caesars.
I have like 1986, 87, somewhere around there. And yeah, boy, I didn't age well, did I?
Marco, you're closing in on 60. You look great to me, dude. Anyway, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. We love you. Right back, everybody. Teddy's Bad Beat segment, the best segment on Mondays, period. No disrespect to our guests. 10 seconds.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
It is time for Bad Beats, Bad Bets, and Bad for the Books. A little recap of the betting action over the weekend. And of course, on Mondays, it's loaded. What are we going to do? There's been a ton of action to talk about. Let's start in Saturday. Some of the bad beats, and these are just the ones that stood out to me. Let's see. You had Temple +4 into the fourth quarter, or Temple, they were only down 4 into the fourth quarter. Then they couldn't cover 17. SMU explosion late. That wasn't so bad. What about the money line? All right. If you had Virginia Tech on the money line and you're laying the big price, game-winning field goal, it gets blocked, it gets returned for a touchdown. Virginia Tech wins, but oops, the coach called timeout and iced his own team. Instead, Liberty kicks the game-winning field goal. Virginia Tech thought they won the game. Virginia Tech backers thought they won the game. Didn't quite work out that way. That was tough to swallow. Let's see, Ohio State. They were laying 39 against Rutgers. They were up 35-3 at the half. Never sniffed a point spread cover after halftime. The better bet was Ohio State first half, not Ohio State full game. What about Arizona State money line? They can't recover the onside kick. They lead throughout. They can't recover the onside kick, and they give it the game-winning touchdown on 4th and 9. USC steals one in there. The worst one that I saw was TCU. Max Duggan, 81-yard touchdown run with 1:42 left. They were up 9. They were laying 9.5 or 10, and they needed one first down from their own 20 to take a knee. Instead, the QB gets into space and takes it to the house. All they had to do is get him down, and TCU would not have covered that number. Texas Tech would have gotten the money. That was a tough beat for Red Raiders backers. Clemson bettors have nothing to say. You know, they're saying, tough beat on Clemson, bad beat. No, they weren't. Their team was covering for about 3 minutes in the fourth quarter, and the defense didn't get a stop. Bad beats are right sides gone wrong. Clemson is a wrong side gone right, but loses in the end. So, no sympathy there. Again, Clemson, it was tough, but a bad beat? No, that wasn't a bad beat. Now, let's talk NFL for yesterday. Bad beats, hey, there were a couple. If you had the Texans minus a point, certainly Houston was a right side in that game. The Jags coming in through the back door, and they cashed the over 49 on the last drive. Houston moved the ball at will when they were throwing it, but in the fourth quarter, they're trying to burn clock. Trying to run. They didn't run the ball all that well. Texans backers, underbettors in that game. That was pretty rough. What about the Chargers? I mean, we thought about using the Chargers as a lead. Heck, I thought about using the Bucs as a lead. Certainly, the way the Chargers are finding ways to lose with yesterday, where they finally they reversed the script. All right, this time we're coming from behind. We're going to win the game. Touchdown pass in the end zone. Oops. Overturned on replay, and there was no question about it. Yeah, the Chargers. That was tough. And, of course, Prez, the Cowboys Steelers somehow stayed under 43.5/44 because of all those field goal attempts. And that game was, felt like an over. Didn't get there at the end. Bad bets yesterday. Well, let's see. The pros bet the Lions. That was wrong. The pros bet the Colts. That was wrong. They bet the Cards. That was wrong. The Joes beat the pros on Baltimore Indy. We always talk about, the sharp square divide. Well, squares won that matchup. But pros losing on Lions, Colts, and Cards. And, of course, recreational players heavy on the Steelers, heavy on the Seahawks, heavy on the Texans, heavy on the Chiefs. All of them were wrong. It was a good day for many books in Las Vegas and across the country yesterday. We talk about bad for books. Well, the Saints, they took money all week. That was not a good result for the house last night, although the fact that the under cashed worked out okay. All the Raiders money, all the over money, both those cashed as well. The Raiders, the ending of the Raiders-Charger game, not great for the books by any stretch of the imagination. And how about the totals yesterday, Prez? Totals 49 or higher. What do we have? Seattle, Buffalo, Denver, Atlanta, Detroit, Minnesota, Carolina, KC, Houston, Jacksonville, Vegas against the Chargers, Miami, Arizona. All of them went over the total. That was 7-0. Any total aligned at 49 or higher, all went over until the late game where the Saints-Bucks stayed under. So if you were betting overs on the higher totals yesterday, as many people were, ended up being a pretty good day for the bettors. But by and large, good result for the house on Saturday, good result for the house on Sunday. Bettors have had better weekends. Back to you, Prez.
Teddy Covers, love that segment. And a big congrats to you, man. You had an outstanding weekend yourself. A perfect sweep yesterday, 4-0 on your client bets. Well done, my friend.
I'm pissed off, Prez. Because and then I think this is probably I think it's a good thing. But it's not. It doesn't matter when I go 4-0. I'm still mad. I'm mad I put out the wrong free play. I'm mad there was 3 dude, I could have had a monster weekend. You should see what my short list looked like. Okay. And all I did was throw out winners. I really don't think there was a game I could have, with the exception of the free play, the Skins, who were -5 in turnovers. I really don't think I could have lost a game yesterday. So yeah, I went 4-0. Great. I feel like I should have done better.
Teddy,
and the fact that what? You're shaking your head.
Go ahead.
I like being hungry. It works for me. It's my motivator. Go.
Well, no, I'm in the same boat, dude. I went 4-4 yesterday. I won my 5% play. I had a 3-0 Saturday. I won my 5% play. But I was angry as hell, man. I played 8 plays yesterday. The ones I left off, Minnesota, Baltimore, on and on. I was like, really? Oh, anyway. You mentioned the Chargers as a bad beat, and one of our listeners said at the top of your segment before you even got there, what about the Chargers? Yeah, the Chargers do not count as a bad beat. This team was behind from the get-go. They actually were not ahead. They missed a end-of-the-game chance in the end zone. That happens all the time. That's not a bad beat. With that said, I think both you and I were on the over in that game, so we cashed that ticket. That went well. Let's welcome everybody into the chat room, and guys, I love you being here. Don't understand why there are 5 thumbs down. I'm blaming Marco. He brought that Bet On It with him, and guys, check out Bet On It. It's today, Monday night edition. Marco, Kelly, and Gianni, awesome show. Andrew McGinnis is here. Andrew had an outstanding weekend, too. He's on a 12-2 all-sports run. Want to welcome Robert F., Long, Abel, who we love, Jim Tepe, Adam Moneymar. Haven't seen your name nor yours, Eric Jones. Thanks for being here, guys. James, NO17, Clipper, Joey. God, so many of you guys. Can't thank you enough. Guys, let's get that thumbs up button going. Also, Teddy, a couple of weeks ago, we ran a subscriber-thon where we were like 40 away from 60,000 subscribers. Well, now we're about 30 away from 61,000 subscribers. So any of you people who are listening right now or later to the recorded version, please subscribe to our channel. The content is absolutely outstanding. I mean, Teddy's got his opening line report coming up next. We got Bet on It. We got this show. We got Prop It Up, college football shows. It's really worth subscribing to our channel. So please make sure to do that. Teddy, I got a 5% play up for this coming. It's actually for Thursday night. It's $9 today only. Have you put up a play?
I have some action available. Weeknight action in the Mid-American Conference. It's an ESPN game on Wednesday between Toledo and Western Michigan. I have a betting interest in that game already. You can get that right now,
okay,
$9 Monday at WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com.
Yeah, let's get to what did we learn? Week 9 NFL, and let's start right off the bat with Tampa Bay. And I want to say something, Teddy. Last year, if you guys listened to the NFL presidential address, the second most listened to show on our Wager Talk TV channel, you heard me say Brady's arm is dead. Brady's arm is dead. And, you know, Teddy, around the exact same point last year, Brady's arm died. I watched yesterday's game intently, and I'm thinking, maybe Brady can only play 6 games a year now. His arm is a mess. That team looked terrible. Defensively, they didn't look great against the Bears. They didn't look great against New Orleans. We got to be worried about Tampa Bay right now.
I'm not sure who anointed the Bucs as the be-all, end-all team to beat in the NFC. They're not. They haven't been. And last night was a particularly bad performance from a team that has been a little bit overrated in the betting markets, you know. And Tampa's put together some really good games. But it's that one win against the Packers that kind of stood out, where they blew out the Packers at home. And, it was they were down. Remember, they were down 10-0 in that game and scored, I think, 38 in a row. And it ended up being real easy for Tampa. But the other thing we have to remember, and this is one that you got to remember this: the old QBs on a short week don't do well. Okay, and Brady was coming off Monday Night Football. That extra day makes a difference when you're 40-something years old. We'll remember that for Phillip Rivers. We'll remember that for Tom Brady. Remember that for Roethlisberger. I haven't seen the drop-off quite as much, but certainly the older QBs, and Brady in particular, has not played well in a short week. That was certainly the case last night. But I don't think the Bucs match up well with the Saints. That's a bad matchup for them, and it certainly was on Sunday Night Football.
New Orleans, conversely, Teddy, their defense looked outstanding. Their edge rushers were fast. Their linebackers were fast. Their coverage was exceptional. And, you know, Drew Brees, I feel like Peyton has an understanding that Drew Brees is old. He's not going to stretch the field. They're going to run dink and dunks, a whole lot of wheel routes with Kamara. I think that was a statement game by the Saints. And although I have been anti-Saints, I'm coming around. I think they're a bye team, even though they're tough to say that when they're sitting so high up in the standings.
Sure. I mean, the time you want to buy the Saints is before last night, not after. I think now they've won 5 in a row. They've got their receivers healthy again, and that makes an enormous difference for how that offense works. I mean, the 2 biggest issues for the Saints this season have been the defense giving up a ton of big plays, and the offense has had receiver injuries all year. Last night, neither of those factors was on display, and all of a sudden the Saints are killing somebody. So certainly a team, and we've seen plenty of statement wins for the Saints in November. They're a good team. They're a very good team.
Taysom Hill for MVP. I mean, if you play they got to get him in at linebacker one game. Like if they're blowing him out or something, just stick him in at linebacker, throw him in on the edge, put him, safety. I mean, why not? At this point, let him kick. Dolphins, Teddy, this team, my God. And you know what? You were right about them all along. I called you up. I said, me and you helped each other this week. I kept you off of Houston. You kept me off of Arizona. Houston in college football. Don't be. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, now you admit it. Oh, okay. Now you.
Sure. I was on the Jaguars. Nothing was keeping me off of Houston. I bet Jacksonville.
No. Houston I kept you off of Houston in college football. You kept me off of Arizona. Good teamwork. But I was like, why do you like Miami so much? You're like, Prez, you just got to be on Miami. Wow. Tua looked great. Defense, look, you got to be fast on D to Murray. Apps. They didn't do that, but they got out of there with a win in playoff position. Are they still a bye team, or is the line just going to reflect how good they're playing right now?
Sometimes all you got to do is just watch Twitter. All of a sudden yesterday, this is fourth straight win for the Dolphins, and I was on them. I think all four, at least three of the four. I think I was on them all four. I'm going to go look, but. So I've made money with Miami. Miami's been a very good team for me in my bankroll. What you see after the game's over, everyone's like, "Ooh, Miami! Wow, they're starting to get good." It's like just like you're saying, now's the time to buy the Saints. No, the time to buy the Saints is before. Dolphins have just won all these games in a row. I doubt I will be on Miami moving forward the way I've ridden them over the course of the last month. Good, but not great.
Guys,
that defense is special, though. Don't make and which tells us even more about how impressive Arizona was yesterday. I understand that Miami won the game. Arizona with Kyler Murray ran circles around that Dolphins defense. It was an incredible offensive performance.
Guys, just a quick mention. As you can see on the right, weekend highlights, it says Prez 4-0 Sunday. It is now being changed. I was trying to steal Teddy's 4-0 Sunday. Teddy, couple of teams. Listen, let's go through this real quick.
Sure.
Pittsburgh, I think they're a sell team right now. They're right at their max. I thought they were a sell team yesterday. I played Dallas personally. They struggled offensively against Baltimore as well. This is 2 games in a row that their offense really is not in sync. Buy or sell?
I mean, I'm not buying a team that's 8-0, so it can only be sell for Pittsburgh, but the Steelers and the markets are coming in against the Steelers already this morning with Cincinnati money. But let's not forget, they just survived the flat game where they didn't play well, and now they're at home against a divisional foe where, in theory, they may play a little bit better.
Vikings. This team got Vikings and Atlanta. Put them both together. I think they're both heavy buy teams.
More Minnesota than Atlanta, in my opinion. The Vikings schedule is very friendly down the stretch. Very friendly.
Well, so's Atlanta. They might have the easiest schedule. Well, they've got New Orleans but Atlanta's got an easy schedule too, I think. But yes, the Vikings I think are the easiest in the league.
Sure, but the Falcons are up 5 minutes to go. They're up by 5 scores against Denver, or 3 score, whatever it was. And the next thing you know, you have an Atlanta ticket. You're biting your fingernails. That's the way the Falcons are. I trust Zimmer right now more than I trust Raheem Morris.
Last 2, same again. Conversely, Colts and Bears, major sell teams, I'm guessing, for you.
No and no. Again,
okay and okay.
How are you guessing this stuff?
That's what you do. That's why it's actually called a guess.
Okay.
Like that's the definition of a guess.
Sure. What do you want to do? So the old stock trading mantra is you buy on the rumor, you sell on the news. Okay. You're trying to sell teams off of bad performances. You want to sell teams off of good performances and buy teams off of bad performances. You have the buy-sell where the value is a little bit flipped right now. Indy had a bad game yesterday, all right? They really did. And I've got my concerns about Phillip Rivers, but boy, that defense is still – the defense actually impressed me with what they did yesterday, even in the second half where they got gashed a little bit. Ravens weren't running the ball down their throats, and Baltimore's a pretty darn good running team. So I'm not selling Indy necessarily. And again, the Bears are the same way. With an offense that's not working, but a defense that is, offense is so sexy in the betting markets defense matters, and the Bears and Colts both have top 5 defenses. They're not sell teams. I haven't seen the defenses quit.
He's Teddy Covers. I'm the Prez. Quick break. We're right back. Teddy's big game breakdown, and of course, Ralph Michaels.
No baseball, basketball, or hockey to get you through until the football weekend? Don't worry, we have you covered over at WagerTalk and SportsMo with our soccer handicappers. Get the rest of 2020 from your favorite soccer expert with an all-access soccer package for just $249. This is normally priced at $399, but right now it's discounted $150 off, and it includes any 5% plays normally priced at $40. Just head over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com to take advantage of this deal to lock in one of your soccer experts through the end of the year.
It is time for Big Game Breakdown. And of course, in the football time of year, no baseball right now, no basketball, no hockey. I'm going to talk football. Marco's already broken down Monday Night Football for tonight, and I think we've given that game as much analysis as we can reasonably do. So let's talk a little MACtion. I figured let's take a look at some of the game, well, one game in particular for tomorrow night. ESPN, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 5 o'clock here on the left coast, Miami and Buffalo. And we've already seen a pretty, I'm not going to call it a line move. One book was sitting at 9.5, another book was sitting at 12. The markets were kind of in between 11, 11.5, and boom. Everyone decided that 9.5 is the best point spread for this game this morning. There has been Miami money, and I understand why. Miami won this matchup last year, 34-20 as short home dogs. They lost by 9 at Buffalo in 2018. They won outright in 2017, won outright in 2016. There hasn't been a Buffalo's dominating this series trend at all. Miami's won 3 of the last 4, and the lone loss would be enough. They lost by less than, enough to cover the number here. Now, there are issues for the Red Hawks, significant issues. They were down to their second-string quarterback last week. Brett Gabbert may not be able to go this week. We'll have to find out. A.J. Meyer was fine in replacement, 16-24, 212 yards and 3 Ds. But he also took 3 sacks, coughed up the football, and nearly threw a bad interception in the late stages of that ball game. They've got cluster injuries at running back. They're under their 4th stringer at running back last week. The defense gave up 9 third-down conversions. They gave up a bunch of explosive plays. They did get pressure. 5 sacks last week. And, of course, they did make the play at the end of the game with the interception to set up the game-winning touchdown. It wasn't pretty for Miami, but they got the job done. That said, Buffalo's got playmakers all over the field. 10.3 yards per pass, 5.4 yards per rush. The defense forced 5 turnovers. You have a QB in Van Treese, who is, 11-17, $175. The running back Patterson, 20 carries for 137 and 2 touchdowns. Antonio Nunn at wide receiver. I mean, there's playmakers all over the field. And the defense is scoring. Buffalo, 3 defensive touchdowns in the second half of their season opener. The final score, somewhat misleading. They were up 49-16 before 2 late Northern Illinois scores against a backup prevent defense for a 49-30 final. Buffalo thoroughly dominated that game. I don't know what I'm going to do with the side in here. I am looking at the over. I'm a believer in Miami. The Red Hawks offense, they certainly showed enough last week. Buffalo's got the playmakers all over the field. Sitting with a total 50. I'm looking right now. I'm seeing 55.5, 56.5, and 57. If you like this over, I'd play it sooner rather than later. I think the markets may well agree with my assessment. This one feels like a high-scoring game. ESPN Tuesday night. That's today's big game breakdown. Back to you, Prez.
Teddy, thanks so much, man. Just want to give a shout-out to Dave Koken. He had a monster 9-1 weekend. And also, guys, tomorrow's show, Nick Borman, we're going to discuss the Masters. We're going to give out a lot of bets for the Masters. We're going to also ask Dave Koken about that on Thursday. Dave's absolutely rolling in golf. Dave Sherp and tomorrow, and Kelly Stewart back on Wednesday. She did such a great job. Teddy, let's bring Ralph Michaels in. Get the last segment on the road. Ralph, Pink and Pink, love the pen. Great day yesterday as well by you too, Ralph. Pleasure having you on the show.
Hey guys, welcome, Prez. I did get your email. Make sure I wear the pink shirt to match with you. So thank you for getting that to me in time. It was nice of you. So, I heard you guys. I didn't tune into the whole show today because Monday I'm playing catch up, but I heard you guys talked a lot about Monday football. Well, guess what? I'm going to talk a little bit more. Two situations I want to bring up, guys. And then we have a Friends of Ralph play to finish off the segment, a soccer play from Kevin Dolan, so tune in for that. First, Monday night home dogs. I hear good records, I hear bad records, I hear, these are play-ons, I hear play against. So how about the facts? Since 2015, and again, I use 2015 a lot because that's the season they moved the extra point back. Monday night home dogs, 42.9%. Not good. Monday night home dogs do translate to a 70% underplay on that game with 9 overs, 21 unders, and 2 pushes. So obviously I have to take it a step further, and I was surprised by these splits. So we know Monday night home dogs are 43%. How about division Monday night home dogs versus non-division? Since 2015, Monday night division home dogs, 66.7%, 8-4-2 ATS. Non-division Monday night home dogs, 25% against the spread, 4-12. And again, when you have a division Monday night home dog, 84.6% to the under, 2 overs, 11 unders. So lesson here, Monday night home dogs have been a 43% against the spread play, but Monday night division home dogs on the plus side, Monday night non-division home dogs, a 75% play against.
So I'm curious, Ralph. I'm seeing what I would consider to be a little bit of sharp money on the over tonight. And every trend we talk about, every matchup handicap that we talk about has me considering the under if I'm playing the total in this game. What are they seeing that I'm not seeing?
I don't have an answer to that, Teddy. This to me just screams. I mean, I knew Monday night home dogs weren't underplay. Division Monday night home dogs, even a deeper underplay. You have Belichick off 4 losses. You have Flacco playing. I don't know. I mean, I look at it and I think this total's probably 1.5 or 2 points too high. But then I go, this is 2020. I don't want to get invested in a total of, in the low 40s. So I do not have a play on that either, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I can think of is that sometimes you have these losing teams. When 2 losers play against one another, you tend to see more points because there's no one's protecting anything, and the coaches tend to be a little bit more aggressive.
And it's funny, Teddy, you say that because I think this total is really going to come down to a couple of fourth and 1s, 4th and 2s. Do they get them? Don't they get them? And that's in keeping with what you're saying, Teddy. Oh, there's the nod.
You already know that the Patriots will get the 4th and 1, and the Jets won't. It's before kickoff.
Oh, we know this.
Cam Newton will
we
lean
know
forward.
this ahead of time.
Yeah, that's one
Ralph,
we know.
Ralph, you're like our cleanup hitter. Shut Teddy up and keep going.
All right. Well, you guys talked about bad teams against bad teams. How about winless teams game 8 or later? What's the mentality? Joe, do you have this stat to put up? Just because the splits are so dynamic, if not, no big deal. I'll go through them. But Teddy and Prez, we've talked about data mining and what you want your stats to look like. Are you trying to get a positive record or a negative record? Listen to these numbers. I took winless NFL teams from game 8 or later. So you were either 8-0, 0-8, 0-9, 0-10. Since 1990, those teams have been 59.4% against the spread, but since 2015, they are 29.6%. So 60%, now 29% the last 5 years. A division team, if you're playing a division foe and you're 0-8 or more, 67% against since 1990, 3-7, 30% since 2015. Home record, 56% the last 30-some years, 5-10, 33%, and the away record, 67% since 1990, only 3-7. So overall, winless teams, 8-19 ATS versus the division foe, 3-7, at home 5-10, away 3-7. What does that tell you? It clearly tells you. I mean, I think it's the most obvious stat there is. The NFL used to have parity. The NFL used to not have these superstar teams that can go up and down the field. These NFL teams used to not have these teams that look like they want to tank. So up until this 2015, or this modern era, as I call it, these winless teams all of a sudden had pride and started to play well, and teams looked past them. Since 2015, it is just clear and obvious. If you are a winless team, you are not a bet on, and I'm not going to play on you, and there's not a situation I found that I should play on you.
Yeah, and that's really interesting to see how much that has changed from 60% to 30%, in the modern era. That's the type of thing that when you look at the long-term stats and don't break it down, it can get you into trouble. Clearly, the last 5 years, plays like the Jets have not been paying off. Ralph, you got a Friends of Ralph play for us today? What's the deal? Who do we got?
Hey, going over the pond. Made a call to Ireland, got Kevin Dolan on the line. Hey, can I have a Guinness, please? And
how did you even understand what he was saying?
Is it gay that I said I love an Irish accent? Give me those girls with those English or Irish accents, and I'll tell you what. So this is Bundesliga action. Obviously, that's the German soccer league. And Kevin has a play which is kicking off 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern today. So just in a few hours, it's Holstein Kiel plus 0.25 goals against Hamburg's team. And the last two times they played to a draw. Hamburg actually with the better season this year, but he's going with Holstein Kiel plus the 0.25 goals. So he's looking for a push or a win to grab the winner in that. Kevin, thank you for that play. That is an actual 4% best bet at WagerTalk.
Say the name of that team again.
Holstein Kiel.
Yeah, he's got the real German accent.
Oh,
yeah,
Ralph, you cracked. Teddy, when Ralph said he didn't listen to the beginning of the show because he was busy, he stood in the mirror and went, Holstein.
Oh, no, guys. I went to German school every Saturday for 12 years. My parents actually met here in English-speaking night school. So I grew up speaking German, and I had to speak German to they spoke German to me. I mostly spoke English to them, but German, I'm probably like what a third grader would be in Germany for real. So I can say beer, or bathroom, or, I need another beer, or how much does that beer cost, or,
All I got is, Jawohl, Kommandant. Sergeant Schultz, or whatever his name was, taught me my German. What a great show, Teddy. Outstanding stuff. Excellent. Down, Ralph Michaels. Thank you for being here, like always. Marco D'Angelo just killed it in the Monday Night Football segment at the top of the show. Guys, $9 Mondays, anyone's plays at both Sports Memo and Wager Talk, only $9 tomorrow. Nick Borman, Dave Sherapan, Ralph Michaels, Teddy, and myself. Mr. Covers, take us home.
So thanks for watching. Enjoy the games. Good luck tonight. We'll be back again in 23 hours right here on Wager Talk Today. Cheers.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.